This is Radio Now 95.3 FM. Come for the news, stay for informed conversations.
Daniel Ojukwu, a journalist with the Foundation for Investigative Journalism, FIJ, has regained his freedom. The journalist was taken by police officers and held in secret for about 48 hours before any information came out on his whereabouts. His arrest occurred on the 1st of May, a month which typically celebrates press freedom across the world. It lasted a total of 9 days. His eventual release came after civil society organizations and journalists put pressure on the administration, particularly the police force, to release him. Joining us this morning to discuss the circumstances around his arrest and his eventual freedom is the journalist himself, Mr. Daniel Ojukwu. Good morning and welcome to the conversation, Mr. Ojukwu.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
It's a pleasure to have you on. I guess we really should start with what your experience was like being in many ways abducted, because this was not information that was put out before the eventual arrest or supposed arrest was made. Speak to us on your experience.
Okay, so I know much of this is out there, so I'd like to touch up on the things that are not already known.
Please.
So on Wednesday, I was taken by a team of 4 men, 1 woman, members of the police force at the National Cybercrime Commission. And they just popped up and showed me a paper. It was an arrest warrant saying it had my name and then it had cybercrime. And in the initial stage, I thought it was a normal arrest. And I stopped to cooperate. I just said, okay, I would like to make a call, just to let someone know that, yes, I'm being arrested. So if there will be any need for someone to make an appearance, bail me out, normal procedure. But I was told that the clear wording was, oh, you belong to a syndicate, and you won't be allowed to make a call because it would jeopardize our investigation. And I was surprised because I didn't know what that meant. You belong to a syndicate. And then the next thing was I was taken to Fancy. I was asked to make a statement. I said I couldn't make a statement if I do not understand the petition. I do not understand the reason for the arrest. I do not know who the complainant is and have no information. And the man said, just write. We will tell you the petition later or during the process of writing a statement. I said, no, you arrested me. What is the petition? What's the claim based on what you have on paper? Show it to me. We were already at the state CID in Lagos. And they said, no. And I wrote it down there. I cannot make a statement without the presence of my lawyer. Naturally, they should allow me to reach my lawyer to show up either the following day or the same day. But they just said no. And then the next thing, I was behind the counter, and the instruction they gave was, do not put a phone in this man's hand. Clear instructions to guys at SCID. And at that moment, I understood that it was not an ordinary arrest. It had become a capture. And important to note, before I went behind bars, I told them, I said, you're accusing me of belonging to a syndicate. And you're saying, I'll be here until you make those other arrests. Who are you looking for? What is this crime? So I could even volunteer information if indeed you believe that I conspired with some people to commit some crime that I'm not aware of. And I said, no, we can't tell you. And once we arrest them, we will see them. Now, all through that process, they never made a follow-up arrest of any individual. Then give credence to their claim that it belongs to a syndicate. So it was nerve-wracking to be there. I thought that's my attack to save night. Tried to make a call, no way. I tried to meet somebody, no way. They just said they'll go get an inhaler for me. They took one inhaler and set me away from everybody, my work workplace, my family, my friends, my lawyers. I couldn't be.
Let me ask you this, Mr. Ojukwu. The police insist that the arrest was a lawful arrest. Do you agree with this statement?
I completely disagree.
And yet, yeah, please go ahead.
Unequivocally, the police do not understand the law. Or the section of the police that made that claim does not understand the law.
Mm.
Frankly, the force public relations officer made that claim. He said the arrest was lawful, and it was citing the Police Act of 2020. Nigeria has a constitution of 1999 that states that if you arrest a person, within 24 hours, you're supposed to charge him to court if there is a court within, I think, 40 meters or 40 kilometers within that area. I'm not very sure of the exact distance now, but around 40 something in that meters or kilometers within the area of the facility you're holding the person. 24 hours to charge him to court. Now, in the event there's no court close by, you're supposed to charge them to court within 48 hours. Now, I was taken on Wednesday. On Thursday, the police came to visit. I said, let's go to court if you have a case. I'm ready to go to court. And these people told me there is no law. I'm quoting them verbatim. They said there is no law that states we must charge you to court within 24 hours. And you get your law on social media. You people read your laws on social media. That was what they said. And I'm telling you, this is backed by the Nigerian Constitution. I think Section 36 or so. I have that somewhere. Now, 24 hours if a court is close by, 48 hours if a court isn't close by. Now, what they did in violation of that provision was then to keep me there all through Wednesday, all through Thursday, all through Friday, all through Saturday, and then fly me out of that jurisdiction into a different jurisdiction in an entirely different territory. I was taken out of Lagos, moved to Abuja, and then locked up in a different holding facility.
Mm.
So,
if I may, Mr. Ojukwu, let me ask you this. I mean, I understand that you are out on bail at the moment, and there have been descriptions that the bail conditions that were set were stringent in the first place. Speak to us about whether or not you will be pursuing legal action on this matter, and even the legal action that has now been instituted against you by the police force.
Okay. Most importantly, the police have not yet instituted
They've
legal
not yet
action
charged
against me.
you to court.
No,
Mm.
to the best of my knowledge. If they are in court, I do not know. The reason I'm saying this is because everything the police has been doing has been them saying one thing and not giving me any information. Because ab initio, they said they had a search warrant. I demanded to see the search warrant. They never showed me any. I demanded for the remand warrant. I never got to see it. So if they're in court, I have not been served. I have no legal action has been brought against me yet. It is just them saying they're doing the investigation.
May I ask if they've given you more information on who instituted the complaint against you?
Yes, I was informed in Abuja. You know, the funny thing about this whole thing is, Muyiwa claims, that's Muyiwa Adejobi, the first PRO. He claims in his responses on social media and his statements that if criminal action has been brought against the person, they can be arrested. It's at the discretion of the IPO to invite. On the petition, my name wasn't there. The complainant did not have my name. The complainant petitioned people who shared the story. The complainant the complainant made a petition to the police and mentioned people who shared the story on social media. My name wasn't there. They only got to learn that I wrote those stories that were shared. And what the people were supposed to do was then to invite me to help the cause of their investigation, that didn't happen. So it became a case of we must trust this guy and kill him because we believe that he is going to refuse to turn up to an invitation or whatever. And that was why it was all the more surprising to me. So, as far as my rights are concerned, it's not my organization is going to work on that. It's not something I have I've thought about extensively or planned for. So in the coming days, we may learn. We may learn more. That we do it or we do not. So for now, I just want to, I still have so much pain around my body. I'm still recovering from fever because we slept on hard floors. I use we because when I talk about this experience, it makes it look like, oh yes, I was in some special hellhole. But my experience made me understand there were a lot of people going through a lot. The police were the police are violating a lot of people's rights, and they've been doing it for a long time. You can see there was hard tiles. We're sleeping on floors, on tiled floors. Some were sleeping on cemented floors, on concrete. And they wake up in the morning, it's cold, the rains come, the sun comes, everything was inside a box. Same thing in FCID. You're sleeping on a thin mat in clustered rooms. You have so many people inside, you have no space to breathe. And it was just horrible.
I can only imagine, Mr. Ojukwu. I mean, you paint a sobering picture, and we do wish you a speedy recovery. And I want to say thank you for sharing your experience with us and speaking to us on the conversation this morning.
Thank you so much for having me.
My guest, Daniel Ojukwu, is a journalist with the Foundation for Investigative Journalism, FIJ, who was arrested by the police. This was at the beginning of the month on the 1st of May and detained for longer than what is legally required on the basis of a petition which was filed against him. The police did not reveal this information till days after his detention. In just a few minutes here on Now Breakfast, Naira and Kobo comes your way. We're taking a look at the prices of food and medication for babies in the country today. Stick around.
This is Radio Now 95.3 FM. Come for the news, stay for informed conversations.